All right, hello. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Refresh Cleanse that's coming up in January. And I have my friend Alex Rice here, who's an Ayurvedic practitioner. She worked very closely with Dr. Vasant Lal, the great guru and healer. And she'll be with us for the cleanse in January. And she has a lot to offer as far as making it more customizable for you and making it a more in-depth experience. And so here she is to explain some of what can happen in an Ayurvedic cleanse and really just what the benefits of cleansing are. So Alex, welcome. And what do you think the benefits of cleansing are?
Thanks, Suze. So there are so many benefits to cleansing, but it can really span from the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. But to give you an idea, so over the course of each season, we can almost imagine like we have these buckets in our body, and over the course of time, we start to accumulate whatever it is that we haven't properly digested in the moment, which is very natural and inevitable as humans. Like we can't process everything perfectly, whether that's what we ate for lunch today, whether it's what we watched last night on TV, or if it's an experience we had, a trauma that we had. It's just really hard to process everything perfectly. And so over time, over the course of this season, we can imagine this bucket is slowly filling. And it might even overflow at times where there might be things like manifestations of dis-ease in the body or symptoms, which in this season it could look like anxiety, insomnia, dry skin, lots of dryness, constipation, things like that. And so in doing a cleanse, it's almost a way to kind of like bring it back down, like clear out what's been accumulated in those buckets in the body. And this is so powerful because it also allows you to digest what's already in you. So that could be on the physical level, that might be a lightening for some people. For others, it might be more of a nourishing, a grounding. And then on the emotional, mental level, so much is able to be processed. You might have sudden memories, crazy dreams, a deeper processing of who you are, who you want to become. All of these are kind of within like the common benefits that we see, at least on like the bigger level. And then of course we have like the more profound like physical benefits that people see. Like a lot of people, if you're carrying excess weight, you might lose some excess weight. You might also have your digestion regularize. You might see that in the quality of your bowel movements, your stool, increased appetite in a healthy way, not in like a hangry way, um, better sleep, more profound rest. Usually there can even be like clear communication in relationship because there's so much now that has just clarified and cleared. And Suze, you've done so many cleanses, so please, what else have you seen or are you thinking of that I'm missing?
Well, I'm thinking of the few times that I've done Panchakarma, and then I've repeated this process at home for myself. And I remember the reason that I first came in was because I had so much chronic systemic inflammation.
Mm.
I was just so sore all throughout my body. I was having a lot of digestive issues, really inflamed, really gassy, really bloated all the time. I was getting these migraine headaches all the time and had a ton of brain fog. And I remember after that, pre-cleanse, and then we did like 7 days of deep cleansing, and then there was like a post cleanse where you reintegrate, which is kind of the model that we're following together. um, I remember afterwards just feeling like a completely different person. Like the inflammation went down substantially. I'd say like 90%, and then there was like 10% left, right, to do. And that 10% I was able to take care of in my day-to-day activities once I had learned all of these healthy habits from doing the cleansing myself. And so it was a big game changer for me to like reduce all that brain fog and like the inflammation overall. And then there was this other time when I went and I remember having this really big spiritual experience where like
Wow.
all the personalities came out and all the patterns of the personality came out, right? And all the different levels of being or personality I had developed kind of revealed themselves to me and how they got there. And so I was really able to let all of those storylines go through the process of cleansing. And that was immensely helpful for this personality and her spiritual growth and goals. And so I do now, when I do it at home in kind of the structure and format that we have, I will typically have more of that spiritual focus. But I find each time, like, my skin feels better. My digestion feels a little bit better. And I kind of just feel stronger overall each time I go through this cycle. So, generally, seasonally, in the transition of seasons is when I do this. So, can you speak a little bit to your experience and then maybe the seasons and the transition in January as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so my first cleanse was actually like very beautifully what helped me kind of like come to the realization that I needed to study Ayurveda with Dr. Ladd. So I feel like it's a very divine time. Like if you're at a crossroads, in any aspect of your life, whether it's career, relationship, spiritually, or you just feel a little lost or confused, like it can be such an amazing time to clarify. And this is kind of a great segue into the January timing as well. This is a time when so many seeds are planted for this new year. And so you taking this time to cleanse now is truly planting the seeds of who you want to become. And with regards to the doshas or these like energies or personalities we can think of on the physical level, over the course of the fall season and early winter is predominantly Vata season, which is those ether and air elements. And so naturally, we think about fall, there's like this crispness to the leaves, the dry, rough, cold, mobile, irregular qualities. Those are the qualities of Vata dosha. And so naturally, as they increase in the environment around us, so do they increase within us. And so as they're increasing, we can think about kind of the bucket of those qualities naturally filling. And they are like perfectly ripe and ready to release at that junction, like just at the end of that season where they're kind of aggravated and ready to be eliminated. Similar to like the trees letting go of the leaves. Like we can imagine that analogy happening within us too.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so, what do you think about this cleanse that we're offering in January? It's a little bit different from some of the other cleanses that I've run, that it's more of a panchakarma style cleanse. So, can you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is within Dr. Ladd's lineage, and I should say that there's like so many ways of doing panchakarma, or like it's like an ocean of the science in Ayurveda. But Dr. Ladd is who I trained with and under, and worked with him with his clients at Soham. And so I'm following his methodology and his version of a home cleanse as well, an Ayurvedic home cleanse. And so it's really honing in on the internal and external oleation pieces, both taking ghee or flaxseed oil on an empty stomach, the self massage with oil externally, and then followed by a purgation, and then ending out the cleanse with some herbal tea enemas. And that's really his process. And that's where I will be guiding you in that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm so excited for us to jump on board on this together. We start on January 6th, and that is when we start our preparation, and that runs for about a week. And then we go into active deep cleansing on January 13th, and that'll be about another 10 days. And then
Exactly.
from there, there's reintegration. So you don't just go out and buy a pizza the next day after you've done all that work. It's a nice phase in where you slowly introduce new foods and all of that. And I will say this, that this cleanse is more of a nourishing cleanse. We're not going into starvation or anything like that. It's all about nourishment and rejuvenation for the new year. And so I hope y'all can make it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me or Alex, Suzanne Martin Yoga at gmail.com, or you can find Alex at lilanandaayurveda.com. All right. Thank you.